A performance factor back then, but I was fortunate that sports science was becoming a bigger part of the game and that the curiosity of one of the greatest managers of all time had been piqued. I was equally fortunate that I was able to work with one of the players who had a back problem and make some adjustments to his routine and products. You can't cure a back injury with a mattress, of course, no matter what some manufacturers might claim, but I was able to have a positive impact on the player's management of his condition. I became more heavily involved with the club, even providing Ferguson himself with some products and advice, as well as the famous class of '92, Ryan Giggs, David Beckham, Paul Scholes, Nicky Butt, and the Neville brothers. This top-down approach, where everyone from the manager and coaching staff to the players uses the methods and products I've recommended, is one I implement to this day. By this time, I was in the process of leaving my role at Slumberland. The world of sleep had begun to engage me beyond simply selling products. I had been chairman of the UK Sleep Council, a consumer education organisation to advise on and promote better sleep quality, which helped further my knowledge, and it was there that I got to know Professor Chris Ejikowski, a leading expert in the field who would grow to be a valued friend and colleague. Meanwhile, the press had coined my job title, branding me Manchester United's sleep coach. What's he doing, they asked, tucking the players in at night? In fact, I was doing things like introducing probably the first training ground sleeping recovery room on the planet at Manchester United's Carrington facility. Lots of top clubs have them now, of course, but that was the first. Word spread. The Manchester United players in the England team, never the type to suffer second best, soon had the Football Association executive Andy Oldknow and England physio Gary Lewin, who was also Arsenal's physio, coming my way. I worked with the national side, having new sleeping products shipped in and advising players on improving their habits. Gary could see the benefit of what I was doing, and he invited me along to Arsenal too, where a new manager by the name of Arsene Wenger was busy changing a lot of the received approaches to football. Another early adopter of sports science, Sam Allardyce, manager of Bolton Wanderers at that time, got me involved too. Later I would work with British cycling, advising stars such as Sir Chris Hoy, Victoria Pendleton and Laura Trott, including their successful Tour de France campaigns as part of performance director Sir Dave Brailsford's marginal gains approach, where I designed portable sleep kits for the riders to sleep on instead of the beds of their hotel rooms. I would be brought in by British Olympians and Paralympians, sports such as rowing, sailing, bobsleigh, BMX and cyclocross, as well as by rugby and cricket teams and many more football clubs, including Manchester City, Southampton, Liverpool and Chelsea. This revolution in the sporting world wasn't confined to Britain. Sleep is universal after all. I was invited to join up with the leading European football clubs such as Real Madrid, where I advised on adapting their luxury training ground player apartments into the ideal recovery rooms for some of the world's best players. I worked with the Netherlands women's bobsleigh team before the Winter Olympics in 2014. I coached cyclists from places as far away as Malaysia, and I have had conversations with National Basketball Association, NBA, and National Football League, NFL teams in the USA, as well as that country's national women's soccer team. All of this came about because I was the first to ask the question of professional sport, and Sir Alex Ferguson, whose willingness to embrace new ideas has never dimmed during his decades at the top, was sufficiently open-minded to help me explore the answer. As he said at the time, "This is a tremendously exciting development in the world of sport, and one I wholeheartedly support." The reaction of many people when they hear what I do is to conjure up images of sleek sleep pods and high-tech science fiction-style white labs with slumbering subjects wired up to supercomputers, but nothing could be further from the truth. Yes, I use all sorts of technology.